One of the beautiful aspects of coin collecting is that to get a really great, top quality and beautiful, rare coin, you don't necessarily have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are some real finds out there, and they're often available at real collector-friendly prices. And looking for those needles in the haystack, well, that's always been my specialty. It's a lot of work, but it is a labor of love. And I've got something really, really special for you today. In my opinion, what may be the most iconic, treasured half dollars of the 20th century is a coin which really captured a most historic moment in our nation's history. And for both historical reasons and numismatic reasons, this coin needs to be at the top of the list for a well-rounded United States coin collection. That coin is the first year of issue of the Kennedy half dollar struck in 1964. And today, I have the highest grade surviving specimens of this iconic, historically most important half dollar. The 1964 Kennedy half dollar. Also the last half dollar struck for commerce on a 90% silver planchet. You look at this coin, folks, it is absolutely flawless to the eye. This is the highest grade NGC has ever given this date. There are no 1964 Kennedys that NGC has graded in proof 70. 6.9 is the highest numeric grade. And you look at it and you understand what 6.9 means. It means it's a coin that's absolutely flawless to the human eye. In fact, NGC has to use high magnification to detect the slightest imperfection. High magnification. It doesn't get any better than this. And I have these coins at a below market price to you. That's based on my cost, using my expertise to acquire the finest possible specimens at the lowest possible price. It's understandable that you see other collectors and dealers asking some fairly strong prices for this coin. Here's one dealer asking $1,600 for a 1964 in proof 69, a dealer with 100% positive feedback. Now, you're not going to pay anywhere near that price, folks. Again, it's based on my cost and my decades of expertise to get these coins at the best possible price and pass that savings on to you. And that's what I've done today. Now, why is the 1964 Kennedy half dollar in such demand among collectors and non-collectors alike? I'm going to take you on a little journey. On November 22nd, 1963, at approximately 12:30 in the afternoon Central Standard Time in Dallas, Texas, President John F. Kennedy was traveling in a motorcade, waving to the throngs of people lining the road. Kennedy's limousine entered a plaza at around 12:30 p.m. Nellie Connolly was in the car with him, turned and commented to Kennedy, who was sitting behind her, "Mr. President, they can't make you believe now that there are not some in Dallas who love and appreciate you, can they?" Kennedy's reply, "No, they sure can't," were his last words. From Houston Street, the limousine made the planned left turn onto Elm, passing the Texas School Book Depository. As it continued down Elm Street, multiple shots were fired. About 80% of the witnesses recalled hearing 3 shots. Turned out the shots originated from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. The president, fatally shot, was rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital and pronounced dead 30 minutes after the initial shooting. A tearful Walter Cronkite of CBS News, who was voted the most trusted man in America in the 1960s, interrupted the afternoon programming to announce the passing of the president. This was the first truly catastrophic, traumatic event experienced by our nation in the age of television. In the week that followed, I watched along with my mom and dad as they would watch the nightly news as events unfolded. Lyndon Johnson being sworn in as president. dignitaries flying in from around the globe coming to attend the funeral and burial, the memorial service, the procession carrying the body of the president down Pennsylvania Avenue on January 25th. His little son, referred to as John John by the press, stood along the side of the street with his mother and sister and was motioned by his mother to salute as the caisson trundled by. That was on January 25th, which also happened to be John John's 3rd birthday. He turned 3 on that day. Like most Americans, my mom and dad watched every night as the events unfolded. My mom had voted for Kennedy. My dad had voted for Nixon, but none of that mattered. He was elected as our president. For that week, it was as if the nation was at a standstill. Everyone, Americans, citizens around the world, were deeply affected by this tragedy. Well, the following month, special legislation was passed to have the late president commemorated on one of our coins. And they asked Mrs. Kennedy what coin she would like her late husband to be commemorated on. Well, Mrs. Kennedy reasoned, well, we already had a president, Abraham Lincoln, on the cent, Thomas Jefferson, another president, on the nickel. We had Franklin Roosevelt on the dime, George Washington on the quarter. She didn't want to replace any one of those presidents. On the other hand, Benjamin Franklin was on the $50. He was never a president, and he was also on our $100 bill. So she chose the $50. The Mint began striking this Kennedy $50 in January 1964. Record time from legislation to finished design to actual striking of the coin, less than 60 days. The public eagerly anticipated the release of this Kennedy $50. Collectors and non-collectors. It seemed every American wanted at least one of these coins to keep as a memento, a remembrance. Now, meanwhile, the Mint planned to strike 90 million $50 for commerce, which was a very high number for a $50. The last $50 struck for commerce on a 90% silver planchet. Well, on March 24th, 1964, the first day they were offered to the public, lines formed around bank branches across the nation as patrons waited to acquire an example of the new coin. The limit was 40 coins per person. By the end of the day, the United States Treasury had run out of the new $50 allocated, but the line was not shorter at the end of the day than it was at early morning. The Mint ended up raising the limit from 90 million to 150 million a couple months later. Still, there were no coins in circulation. They raised the limit to 250 million, still no coins in circulation. As every time one appeared, the citizen who received it in change would tuck it away in a safe place as a keepsake. The Mint actually requested to continue striking the coin into 1965 and was granted permission to strike the 1964 90% silver Kennedy $50 into 1965. While the 1965 Kennedy that was eventually struck was struck on a 40% silver planchet. That is the only time in the history of the Mint where two $50 of different dates were being struck in the same year, with one on the traditional 90% silver planchet and the other on the new 40% silver planchet. The Mint eventually struck over 400 million 1964 dated Kennedy $50. Collectors and non-collectors alike, it seemed virtually every American wanted to own one of these coins as a memento. Now, over 99% of the 1964 Kennedy $50 minted were struck intended to be used for commerce. Here's a typical 1964 Mint State Kennedy. Has never made it into circulation, but you can see the numerous marks all over the coin. This is from the process of minting the coin. These coins were struck once, dumped into bins. They went through coin counting machines, And they were dumped into bags and shipped to banks around the country. So by the time you got it at the bank, even though it had never been in circulation, there were marks all over the coin. And that's just the way it is for mint state coins. At the same time, the mint only struck 3,950,762 1964 Kennedy half dollars in proof condition. Less than 1% of the total mintage for the 1964 Kennedy half dollar. A total of 433 million coins struck in mint state for commerce, only 3.9 million struck in proof. Now, what is a proof? If you're new to collecting, the mint struck a limited number of Kennedy half dollars specifically for collectors. They had to be ordered directly from the mint. Proof coins have been struck by the United States Mint since the early 1800s. While the technology has continued to improve over the decades and centuries, the principle has remained the same. A proof coin is intended to represent the state of the art. The finest possible quality the mint is able to produce given the technology of the day. Nowadays, the modern proof coin truly is state of the art. The mint uses the most advanced technologies, using lasers and computers to prepare the dies and strike the coins. But back in 1964, folks, this is like the Stone Age. It was the era of the craftsman. The old Philadelphia Mint, which struck proof coins, relied on their best craftsmen. Craftsmen would polish the dies until the fields had a mirrored finish. Craftsmen would prepare the coin blanks. The blanks would slowly be fed into the die press, and each blank would be struck twice under higher pressure to bring out every detail of the design as the mint intended. Nevertheless, some craftsmen were better than others. And in an attempt to get these proof coins out as quickly as possible to the public, the quality control for the 1964 proof Kennedy half dollar was compromised. That key phrase, proof coins represent the state of the art given the technology of the day. The technology back in 1964 was truly old school compared to today. Here are the typical proof sets from 1964 with the Kennedy half dollar. This is the original government packaging. We refer to these sets as flat packs. This is the last year of the flat pack when the proof sets came in these cellophane envelopes. And here's a 1964 set. I've already cut open the slot for the Kennedy half dollar. I'll slide it out so you can get a better view of the coin. And notice the spotting on Kennedy's neck. That is what we refer to as milk spots. One of the procedures in preparing a proof coin at the mint was to wash the coin blanks in a soap solution. When they would wash these blanks in the soap solutions, that soap residue, to get them as clean as possible, there would often be little flecks of soap residue left on the blank when it went into the die. And then when that die came down with 100 tons of pressure, striking it twice, that residue was struck into the coin. It's part of the coin. Here's another set. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, this is a beauty. This one has developed some toning. Again, this cellophane packaging was not ideal for the storage of these proof coins. Very heavy toning on the half dollar and the dime. And yet the quarter seems just fine. I'll show you one more. This is a masterpiece. Take a look at this one, folks. Talk about milk spotting. And believe me, I have seen worse. This is bad, but I have seen worse. Now, what about the reverse? Well, again, you'll see spotting. It's always random. It all depends on where they left that soap residue. Now, the mint, I think they had a sense of humor. This must have been tongue-in-cheek, because you always got a little note in here. Here's the little note you received, explaining that your U.S. proof coins have been carefully inspected and then sealed in a transparent envelope. Nevertheless, sooner or later tarnishing may occur. Care in handling and storing will help prolong the newly minted luster of the coins. If there should appear what may seem to you a defect or scratch on a coin, it is no doubt a crease in the packaging material. We tell you this to save us both unnecessary correspondence. I always get a kick out of reading that little letter. And that is why the coins I have for you today are so amazing and rare. Take a look at this latest population chart. This is the latest NGC census of all the 1964 Kennedys in the NGC Signature Series holder. To date, they've graded 947 examples in Proof 69. That is the highest grade, the highest numeric grade they have ever given a 1964 Kennedy half dollar. They've never graded a 1964 Kennedy half dollar in Proof 70. In the opinion of Rick Montgomery, who's one of the head officers and the #1 grader at NGC, NGC just did not feel that they had the technology back in 1964 to strike a perfect Proof 70 coin. Proof 69 represents the ultimate. A Proof 69 coin is a coin that when they first see the coin, the graders at NGC study it, and if it looks flawless, they put it under higher magnification. If under that higher magnification, they don't see any flaws, it gets a grade of Proof 70. But if under that higher magnification, they see the tiniest flaw, it gets a 6.9. So that is what we have here, folks. Coins that with the naked eye, and even under low magnification, are flawless. They're amazing. And again, we've got a few comps. These coins often have asking prices in the thousands of dollars for a Proof 69. Here is one for $1,849. Here's one for $1,700. Folks, I've been very fortunate. I've specialized in these coins for about 40 years, and I know a lot of avid collectors and dealers over those years. I've had some great friendships, and I acquired a collection that he cherry-picked, and I cherry-picked his collection. And I have one of these coins available today. Not for $1,000, not for $795, not for $595. You can own one of these coins today. The highest grade Kennedy half dollar struck in 1964 out of almost a $500 million coins struck. $199 in my Signature Series holder, which means NGC's finest graders have inspected this coin, and then they forward the coin to yours truly, and I review the coin. And if it meets my standards, I sign off on it, it gets my signature on the holder, and it goes in this custom NGC Signature Series holder. I acquired this collection from a long time collector friend who over the past 40 years had personally hand-selected over 20,000 1964 proof sets. And he gave me first crack at the opportunity to acquire them. He wanted a fair price. It was a great deal. And as picky as he was, most of the 1964 Kennedy halves from this lifetime collection graded either Proof 66, Proof 67, or Proof 68. Those are exceptional grades for this first year Kennedy half dollar. I currently have almost 300 examples in Proof 69. The highest grade NGC has ever certified in their almost 40 years certifying rare coins. This is the finest group of 1964 Proof Kennedy half dollars I have handled in my 40 plus years of specializing in these coins. And while I have them, here is what I'm able to offer them for. Again, if you just want one coin, it's only $199. But I would encourage you to get more than one. Now, don't get one though. Again, this opportunity will not come by again. If you get three, here's what I'm doing for you. You can own three for only $589. And if you get three, not only will you get them for only $196.33 a coin, but you'll also get a free copy of my limited hardcover edition the 4th edition of the Franklin and Kennedy half-dollar guidebook, hand-signed by me. But don't just get 3. Again, I have nearly 300 examples, folks. If you get 10, you get the book, and you can own 10 for only $1,890. That's $189 a coin. The 1964 Kennedy half-dollar. Also the last half-dollar struck for commerce on a 90% silver planchet. You look at this coin, folks, it is absolutely flawless to the eye. Now finally, this is for a limited time while I have these coins. I have a 20 coin special. $3,749 for 20 of these incredible Proof 69 coins. That comes out to $187.45. Now that's only about $1.50 cheaper per coin than the 10 coin special, but I'm really cutting it to the bone at this point. So $187.45 a coin, and it also is available on our 2-pay option. Half down today of $1,874.50 and the balance in 30 days. There is a limit of 2 of the 20 coin sets per caller. Okay, again, I have a limited quantity of these. I don't want somebody calling in and ordering all 300 coins. I want this to be available to everybody watching today. Now, when you get to the set of 20, you will not only get the limited edition guidebook of Franklin and Kennedy half-dollars, you will also get the revised 2nd edition of Cameo and Brilliant Proof coinage of the 1950 to 1970 era. This is a landmark book, folks. The original that came out in the early 1990s established the Cameo, Ultra Cameo standards that PCGS and NGC uses today. There's over 400 color photos. It's made of the highest quality paper, and that is included. You get both books with your 20 coins. Every coin you see meets my highest standards of eye appeal and quality for the date and grade. I'm only going to carry this on for just a few minutes longer because, again, I have a limited quantity in Proof 69. Most of the coins I reviewed graded Proof 67 and Proof 68. So call in now. This is a unique opportunity. Never before have I been able to offer this Kennedy half-dollar in this condition at this price, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm passing my good fortune on to you today. There's no middleman here. These are all coins, again, that I've reviewed. And you get the signature series. You get it all for only $199 if you just get 1 coin. You get 3 for only $589. That's $186.33 a coin. We have got a lot of people calling in. The phones are really lighting up. Jackie, do we have any open lines?
We do not.
Jackie says we do not have any open lines at the current time. Well, let me know when we have an open line there, Jackie. So we have a set of 20 sold. Congratulations. Who got that set?
That's Mr. S. in California.
Mr. S. in California, congratulations, sir. You get the set of 20 and you get the 2 books. Congratulations. Jackie tells me we now have an open line. We've got a lot of very friendly operators here, folks, when you call in. Believe me, they are the kindest people. So take advantage of this opportunity. These coins look like a modern proof struck in 2024, but these coins were struck 60 years ago in 1964. Using what technologies that were basically unchanged from the 1800s. These coins should not exist. Few do exist, which is what makes these Proof 69 1964 Kennedy half-dollars so valuable. Thank you to everybody who have called in today and gotten one of these Kennedy offers at such a great price. And please continue to call in. We will keep the operators online after the end of this presentation. So take advantage of these now while I have them. It's a great, great opportunity. The first year of issue, the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar. In my opinion, it may be the most iconic, treasured half-dollars of the 20th century. It's a coin which really captured a most historic moment in our nation's history. And in 1964, They didn't have the technology that they have today to strike very many coins in Proof 69. These are the cream of the crop. Please take advantage of this opportunity. This is a coin that will be very, very good to you, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Thank you for watching.